Isn't she lovely? Isn't she one? And isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she special? Only one minute old. Alright, let's see if I can get this thing up and running. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Alrighty, thank you for joining me. This is my second time live streaming, I think, or like my second time live streaming for realsies. So it's just me. I'm trying to make sure all the equipment's working right. I'm doing my best to make sure that there's a better quality picture for you guys. You'll notice that the screen is enlarging, or it has just enlarged recently. What's going on? Somebody asked. Oh, yes. So if you have questions, I'm hoping that I'll be able to see them on my iPad here when this thing is up and running. So ask your questions on the side, and I'll be able to read them and answer them. What's happening? Yeah, exactly. So what's happening? Great first question. What is happening is this is a live stream that I'm doing in support of a launch of my Patreon page. So you can, check that out. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to put an overlay down here just so that you'll be able to see. And I'm still talking just so you can kind of hear. Hopefully you're not getting some kind of gross, like overlay, stupid, annoying thing. Hopefully this works. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? I like how people say, like, what's happening? That's a good question. What's happening? And it's blinking. Why is it blinking? Gonna have to turn that off. Okay, well that's really annoying. I hope I don't need my headphones. Basically, patreon.com/Joe Raciti, or backslash whatever, /Joe Raciti. That's my name. I'm starting a campaign. It's pretty important because it signifies a shift in how I'm making a living from my work online. So basically what I'm trying to do is change the way I fund the vast amounts of work that go into making all of my videos so that I don't have to run as many ads, so that I can justify making more of them, or so that I can justify making them at all. But anyway, today I'm mostly going to be answering questions about the campaign. What I'm doing is asking people to pledge support, like $1 a month, $3 a month, $5 a month. At each level of support that you can manage to part with, there are benefits, there are like rewards that I'm offering in exchange. And I think they're pretty cool, like early access to my videos, birthday emails from me, like tons of stuff that I put together that I think is pretty cool, and I hope that you think is cool too. So the whole point of this is to answer a couple questions about YouTube, answer some questions about what I do on YouTube, whether or not it really is making a living. I'll go into some financial details if you're interested. Questions about the campaign you should feel free to ask. Questions about music you should feel free to ask. And I'm also going to try and show you a little bit of something on the piano here. So basically, let me see if I can reload some stuff here. Yesterday I had a live streaming event, and somebody asked me, what is your favorite song to play? And I answered a 1-6-2-5 progression, and I wanted to take a minute to explain in more depth what that actually means. So I'm going to try and do that now. And I know this is not ideal, you don't have the overhead, but I'll do my best to explain it so that you can follow along. If you were to look at a piano and you were to start on a C, a note that is a C, this is the note that's just to the left of the group of two black notes, okay? And if you were to play every white note from C to shining C, from C to the next C, it would sound like this. It would sound like a C major scale, right? That probably sounds pretty familiar to you. But you can also think about that instead of just C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, or Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. You can also think about it, and if you're in other countries, you probably were thinking that La, you're probably thinking that, no, that you probably were thinking that as Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. You can also think of that in terms of numbers, or what's called scale degrees, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When I refer to a 1, 6, 2, 5 progression, what I'm referring to are those numbers. So once you've labeled the C major scale, we start with C because it's the easiest, but you can do this for any key. When you've labeled that C major scale, 1 through 8, you can then, I'll show you what I mean. My left hand is going to play that number sequence that I mentioned earlier, the 1, 6, 2, 5. So I'll show you what I mean. So here, the 1 is the C, the first note. 1. And then if I were to go up to the 6, it would sound like this. And then I go back to the 2, that's a D. And then back up to the 5, which is a G. So here's the 1, 6, 2, 5 loop, just the bass stuff. 1, 6, 2, 5. Now, that's cool. Just the bass hand, you can sort of probably start to hear something coming out. I'm going to play a little bit, and we're going to back up after that. So listen for that 1, 6, 2, 5 while I play some stuff on top, all right? So we've got like this cool little like jazzy thing. I hope my camera didn't just shut down. Doesn't seem to have. But you've got that cool little jazzy thing, and it's just a 1, 6, 2, 5. So the left hand is the thing that's doing the 1, 6, 2, 5 in. And there are variations, like after you play it 3 times, you can go 3, 6, 2, 5 instead of 1, 6, 2, 5, and that would sound like this. 3, 6, 2, 5. And you're probably thinking that's way too much. Like, why are you playing all that jazzy stuff? I don't even understand what the heck you're talking about. And you're probably right, so I'm going to slow down. Now, if you just were to look at that 1, 6, 2, 5 pattern in the left hand, and for each one of those notes that you played, you built a chord on top of that. So that was like the root of your chord. You'd start to get some interesting, more complex sounds. So if the 1 is a C, I know this is like heavy stuff for some people. Don't worry, we're gonna get to chatting and stuff in a few seconds. If the 1 is the C, let's play a C major, okay? I'm gonna give you the chords for now. We'll talk later about the stuff if you're interested. C major is made of the C, E, and G. Now the 6 is an A. We're gonna play an A minor. A, C, and E. We go up to the D, we're gonna play a D minor. D, F, A. And we're gonna go to the G, and we're gonna play a G major. G, B, D. So that 4-chord loop, if I played it really sort of stupidly, I guess, or not stupidly, crudely, would sound like this. I just make the shape of a W, and the left part of my hand plays the root, the 1. So you see my left, it's kind of hard to see from here, but the left part of my hand is playing that C, and then the A. I'm just keeping the W shape. D, G. Now, I'm not going to talk about this next part, but basically you would use something called inversions to make it sound, to go from this into something more like this. And I think it sounds better. And you go from there. And you can dress up on top. So as you sort of layer more and more tricks that you know, dress-up tricks, a bag of tricks, whatever, chops, whatever you call them, you can create more and more interesting, varied, dense patterns that still sound good. And it sort of is all built on something very simple. 1, 6, 2, 5. So that would be where I would, so that's sort of to go into more depth about what's a question that someone asked yesterday. What's my favorite song to play? I don't know if it's a song, but it's like that 1, 6, 2, 5 progression. I don't know, it just resonates with me. So let's see if I've got some more questions that I can answer for you guys. If not, I've got other stuff that I can cover. Now, let's see. I don't know if this is gonna work on my iPad. Yeah, so feel free to ask your questions in the field. I'm gonna just check my computer to make sure that I'm not missing, that the iPad is not missing some of the comments. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, cool. So, next thing that I wanted to talk about is the finances of having a YouTube channel. I think a lot of people look at like the number of subscribers I have, and they think that that's a large number, and therefore I must be making a lot of money. And the answer, the truth is that I'm making such a small amount of money despite the number of subscribers I have, the number of views I get, that I have a second job. It's called a real job in the real world. I'm a music teacher. I almost don't make enough money to justify having this as a summer job, and it's that I love doing it that allows me to keep going. And that's worth a lot to me, but it's very time consuming to pour all of your energy into creating a video that's of a high enough quality that I feel okay about releasing it into the world. And I still make mistakes, you know? So it's not really, in terms of the traditional way of supporting your YouTube work, which is running ads, I guess, doesn't really work for me, for my content, because I'm splitting a lot of that with record labels, I'm splitting it with YouTube. At the end of the day, people are using ad block, and at the end of the day, I'm getting such a small amount per video that it doesn't, like, I could go like get a metal detector and just look for a change and probably have better return on my time. So So I'm trying to, basically, my whole idea here is to do a better job. To do a better job and to do more of it. Because I think of like a kid in India who's trying to learn the piano, and he or she can't afford a piano teacher, but has an internet connection at their school and an old piano somewhere. I want them to be able to learn to play the piano, because it made my life better to play the piano. And I think it can make their life better, and I think it can make the world better. I think there's a lot of research to suggest, sort of recent research to suggest that studying a musical instrument basically makes you smarter in a lot of different ways, and it makes people happy, and it makes people calm. Like, I just think the world is a better place when people are playing music, and I want to empower them to do that at the highest level that I possibly can. And to do that necessitates that I fund my endeavors. I just have to do that. If I want to hire somebody to translate my videos and write captions in a different language, that costs money, and if I don't have it, I can't do it. So if I want the kid in France to learn, if I want the early adult, beginner from Pakistan, if I want like the virtuoso pianist from Belgium who's brushing up on his or her jazz, like, I need to be in other languages. And beyond that, music education doesn't stop at YouTube. I've said this before, but it doesn't stop at YouTube. There are books, there's other materials, there's lots of software coming out. And I have ideas for a number of different venues to help people learn music better. Because I think that currently music education is in a rough spot. I think a lot of music teachers lose sight of a lot of important things about teaching, including being patient, including understanding what their real job is, which is, I don't think, to make a whole bunch of virtuosos, to give them the option if they want to go there, but to sort of provide the other information in a way. What is the function of music? These are questions that I have to answer for myself and that you guys might want to answer for yourself as well. And so I'm kind of rambling here, but basically what I'm trying to say is I need to raise money to do what I think is what's right for the world, and I want you to help me do it if you can. So let's talk a little bit about what I'm giving away. I'm going to go over to my Patreon page here. I can't show you my password. That would be bad. So, Patreon, patreon.com/Joe Raciti. Or you could just search Joe Raciti on the Patreon page. I'm sure it'd come up. So, the first goal, the Mozart level, ad block, absolution, and Patreon activity feed. So basically, this is what you really get from joining this is access to the Patreon activity feed. Only members get access, only patrons get access to that feed. And on that feed, I'm going to be posting supplementary videos that I don't post on YouTube, or that I don't post live on YouTube. I'm going to be posting content early. I'm going to be answering questions. It's going to be as active of a stream as I can make it, as a way to say thank you for people who are pledging just $1 a month. Really, $1 a month. If you think about having access to support, like forum support from a piano teacher, period, what would they charge you for that? A lot more, I imagine. And you also have this advantage of having a community of people who are all dedicated pianists and musicians who are also generous people, who are going to help you because they're generous people. They're going to help you answer your questions. Anyway, $3 or more per month. So you may already know that I create a lot of my own original music. So I put all of my past music up in a Google Drive in folders. Anyone who is a member at the Bach level, that's the $3 level, is going to have access to all of my past music, including a whole folder of songs that either haven't been released yet or are just sketches or works in progress. So I think that's pretty cool. It's like 4 albums worth of music. And you also get access to all of my future music, which I will drop into that drive before I even release it on iTunes. So you get early access. I didn't even write that in here, but it's early access to all of my music. Ever. Okay. For $5 a month, the Beethoven level, I will send you, each of these levels is cumulative. You get everything from the previous levels before. But at the Beethoven level, I'm going to send you a birthday surprise, and I'm going to give you credit on my website for your support. So basically what that means is on your birthday, you get an email from me, and it's going to include a special video, birthday video, and that's going to be a different video every year. The first video that I've created came out very well. I'm really excited about it. It's got cool special effects. There's a lawnmower outside. Oh my gosh. Hi. Cool special effects, and it's got, I don't know, it's kind of funny, it's kind of creepy, it's cool. I hope you guys like it who sign up for the Beethoven level. I'm also going to be putting up a page on my website, joeraciti.com, where I thank people for their support. So if that's interesting to you, that's the Beethoven level. You can check out all these levels at patreon.com/Joe Raciti, or just search for Joe Raciti on the Patreon page. For $10 a month, I'm offering the Clara Schumann patron level, which is email support. So if you have questions about playing the piano that you want me to answer, for $10 a month, I will answer a question that you have. I will answer one music-related question via email per month. So if you want to know how to improve your left hand, if you want to know how to write songs better, if you want to know how you should go about practicing, how you should be studying, how to get ready for a concert, any of those questions, I'm happy to answer in detail, specific to you. So that's a great product that you just can't get anywhere else. I don't just respond to emails. I don't even have my email out there, but I'll give it to people who are Schumann level supporters. For $20, you become a Holst member, as in Gustav Holst, one of my favorites. And at this level, in addition to everything else, the email support, the birthday card, everything else, you also get access to my website, joeraciti.com, where there are currently more than 100 videos that explain how to play piano, like for beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels, chord photos with my hands for the most part, dress-up tricks, if you want to learn how to play stuff to go on top of the 1625, that's the place to do it. I'm also working on music lessons for how to read music this summer. If you don't know this about me already, if you can't tell us about me already, my life is a full court press of creating stuff that I think will make the world a better place. So my time is spent, I don't play video games, I don't go out to movies, whatever. I mean, maybe just enough to keep me sane. I push, and I'm creating new stuff for you guys that I think will make your lives better, that I think will make the world a better place. So hopefully you'll get to enjoy as much of that as possible. My long-term goal, I should say, is to make everything that I'm creating as close to free as possible. And the best way that I think to do that is to have a patronage system where people who can afford and who are willing to support that mission, who are willing to say, yeah, I think high-quality music education should exist for kids who can't afford it in other countries, should exist for people who can afford it in my country, should exist for me, should exist for my family, should exist for my sons and daughters and for like the future of the world. Those are people that I'm saying, like, can you spare a couple bucks? And if you can, this would be so cool. So, yeah, membership to joeraciti.com. For $50 or more per month, Joplin level supporters get a video sponsor credit. So at the end of all of my future videos, for all of my current Joplin patrons, I write, this video is generously supported by this patron, your name. In the video description, I also have your name and a link to a website that you like. This is like advertising. It's like cheap advertising. I create a lot of content. It gets a lot of views. I figure that's got to be worth at least $50 a month. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I mean, in addition to doing what's good for the world, all of these are in addition to doing what's good for the world, and they all include everything above, too. So, like, for $50, you're getting access to my website. You're getting a birthday email from me every year with a custom birthday video that you can only see if you're my patron. You're getting, what else are you getting? You're getting email support. You're getting, no, I don't need to go to that. You're getting my original music, and you're getting access to members-only activity feed with awesome people who are there to support you. So I think this is like I think these are attractive options. I don't know. Now, a lot of people ask me for requests, and I try to teach the song that most people want to learn. But some people really want to learn a song, and no one else does, or not enough other people do, and I just can't justify doing it. If you become a member at the Chopin level for $100 a month, you have the ability to actually make a request for a Billboard Top 100 song that I'll teach. And I'll even consider other songs. Like I say Billboard Top 100 because I know I can do them. If you want to learn a different song, I'll consider that as well. I can't promise that I'll do it because I don't know if I have the rights to it, and I don't know if it's going to take me like 12 years to do. But if it's reasonable, I'll do that too. So requests, there we go. Boom. You want to learn something for a wedding? Chopin supporters have that option. All right. For $150 or more per month, Rachmaninoff gets premium email support and video critique. I will answer up to 1 email per day, which I think is ridiculous. If you have a lot of questions, if you're like really trying to get better at the piano and you have a lot of questions, that's awesome. For $150 a month, I'll answer those for you. And if I don't know the answer, I'll go look it up. And if I really don't know the answer, I'll be like, shoot, I just don't know the answer. Let's try and figure it out. Like, we'll dig together. I can do an email a day. There's a limit on a couple of these things. There's a limit on the number who can be. Joplin supporters, I am only giving away 30. Chopin, I'm only giving away 12. And the reason is I just can't do all this extra stuff for more than that number of people. That would be maxing out. The Rachmaninoff level, I'm only giving away 8 of these. So if you want that premium support, there are only 8 available for the history of the world. I will be your premium email support customer service for music specialist. I don't know. I also will offer you a video critique. So let's make sure I'm doing this right. Once a month, if you send me a video of you playing the piano, I will critique it. I will say, here's what you need to do to get better. Here are the next steps. Here's what you're doing well. Here's what you can do better. Here's an idea for a new piece. I'll critique your video for you. That's in addition to premium email support. All right, for $200, Gershwin, unlimited lifetime access to Joe Raciti, and everything above, okay? So there are only 4 of these that I'm giving away as well. So it's like you have access to me, premium email support, joeraciti.com, birthday videos, everything that's listed above you get access to. Pretty awesome. $300 or more per month, Tchaikovsky level supporters. I will collaborate with you on a YouTube video. Why did I just take I think my camera just took a photo of me. Or either that was winking at me. I will make a YouTube collaboration and I will promote your channel through my page. So we'll do a collaboration. I will do annotation links through to your page. I will put links in the video description and I will say at the end, like, check out this person's YouTube channel. And that's it. Pretty sweet, I think. Plus everything above. For $500 or more per month, I will write an original song for you. You may not realize it, but I like to write lots of songs. In fact, I'll play one for you. So this is an original song. I haven't played this or sung it in a while, so I don't know if I'll remember it. I actually didn't plan on doing this at all. So, oh shoot, we've got visitors. So hopefully, hi, come on in. I'm live streaming to the world. Hey, how you doing? Are you giving a tour? You could walk around if you'd like. All right, there's people at my school who are getting a tour. How embarrassing. For some reason, when I'm streaming to the whole world, it's not embarrassing, but when like 3 people walk in and look at you, it's embarrassing. Hello. So this is an original song that hopefully the people out there won't be listening too much to. And I'll give you an example of the songs I write. When a song comes on the radio and the singer's like, whoa, and you want to sing along because the song is like, oh, so well, you take a deep breath and the words come out and it feels so good. Oh, and it feels so good. It feels so good. Oh, and it feels so good. Singing like, whoa, 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 whoa. You've got such an amazing And some guy with this look in his eyes says, would you stop singing that song? Well, you take a deep breath and the words come out and it feels so good, good. Oh, and it feels so good, feels so good, good. Oh, and it feels so good, singing like whoa, 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 whoa. You've got such an amazing range, oh, you must be an angel. The way you sing is making me weak. Oh, would you teach me your falsetto? Would you let me write your libretto? Baby, come and sing with me. Okay, I didn't warm up or anything, so stop judging me. Don't judge. Yeah, so I like to write my own music, and I'll write a song for you, just for you. We can collaborate. I'll talk to you. What do you want it to be about? Or I'll write a song for you for someone else. You want to write a song for your girlfriend, your boyfriend. You want to write a song for your best friend, for your mom, for your dad, for your grandpa, for your grandma, for your cousin, niece, nephew, for your dog. I'll write a song for you. Okay, so back to the lecture at hand. Let's see what I've been missing out here. That's the Debussy, one of my faves. I'm only giving away 2 of those. So if you want that song, I'm only giving away 2. List, the one List supporter. I'm giving away one package called the List package. You're going to get to hang out with me for a day in New York City. Ooh, yes, believe me, it is fun. Okay, I know what you're thinking. It's fun. And I'm also going to give you a music scholarship in your name, in addition to everything above. So I will still write the song for you. So basically there are 3 people who get the song, but one of them is also a List supporter. Everything else above, you get the whole package. I know that's steep for some, and basically my idea is if you have that to burn and you really like what I'm doing, I want that option to be available because that takes stress off of other people to try and support this. So it's a tiered model because I think we all have different amounts that we can give. All right, so that's it. I am now going to turn to answering any questions that you have on YouTube. Okay? How does that sound? Is that fair? That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. Let's see. Now I have to go to my... I am sorry that this is clunky. This is the second time I've done this. And is someone here? Sup? Yes, someone is here. Are there any rules about that jazzy sound that you played right there in terms of accidentals, for example? That's a good question. So Lionheart R asked, are there any rules about that jazzy sound? I'm not sure exactly what jazzy sound you're referring to. If you want to write a comment, I can try and address that. But I'll do my best. For this, oh wait, I'll put it in this key of C. All right, so in terms of accidentals, one way that you can think about taking a simple 1-6-2-5 progression like the one we went over and expanding on that, and this, wait a minute. Did my camera freeze? I'm checking to see if my camera froze. Why is it being ridiculous? Oh, jeez. What the heck? Wow, that's so unfortunate. Man, I hope you guys caught all that last stuff that's so annoying. It looked like my camera froze. I don't know why. I'm still working out the details here, so man, I just played a whole song and everything. I really hope that worked well. I'm going to try and answer some questions for people who asked, Anyway, if the stream worked, great. If it didn't, I'm sorry. I'll try and get this worked out. That's another thing I'm committed to doing if this works out, is to improve my equipment, improve my production quality, so that I can have these live streams that actually work. Hire someone who knows what they're doing to put this on, not me just do everything. So, is there a secret to the jazzy sound that I played? Is the question that I'm attempting to answer. In the 1, 6, 2, 5. You notice that I immediately jazzed up the left hand there. And the way you do that is to think about half steps that approach your target note. So your target notes are literally the progression, the 1, 6, 2, 5 progression, and those are your target notes, and the half steps that are near those target notes are your sort of opportunities to make it sound jazzier. So if I start on the 1 and I'm going into the 6, I can choose a half step that's near the 6 to go into before I get to the 6. You hear that? Or I could start from below. And then I do the same thing for the next note. The next note is a 2, so a half step before that or after that. So we've got, my left hand is going to play the target notes, and my right hand is going to play the sort of half steps. So think half steps that approach into your target note either from the bottom or the top. That's probably the best advice I can give you for that. Let me see if there are other questions. I know that the thing froze in the middle, and maybe that drove some people away, and so I'm really sorry about that. So embarrassing. Hopefully it's a little bit better now. Oh, I see that there's a problem. I'm going to edit the scene so that this is closer to that. So there. Hopefully that's working. Man, I don't know if there's like a limit to what I'm allowed to do. Did it freeze again? Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Now I will just answer questions that you guys have. What's happening? Okay. Okay, I hope I got my tech sorted out. Feel free to ask your questions. So, yeah. So if people are still here, I hope you'll feel free to ask. Ask away. Other than that, while I'm waiting for you guys to ask, I'm going to play some piano for you. Okay? Okay.
All right, you know what I think I might do is sing another original song for those of you who are still watching. Well, I was sitting by myself as I usually do, playing my piano for an hour or two. This pretty little girl comes and sits next to me, and she says, "Don't you feel lonely?" Whoa, smiling at her bravery, I asked her name. With a twinkle in her eye, she began to explain, "It doesn't really matter." I hung my head in shame, 'cause everybody's wiser than me. Thank you very much, I said, for rubbing it in. Do you wanna see me frown? And if you're gonna play with me, I suggest you begin. But don't try and bring me down. No, don't you try and bring me down. Don't you try and bring me down. Could've drowned in the tears that I've already cried. Could've dug my own grave, rolled over and died. Whoa, ever since you left me, babe, I've been trying to hide, but everybody just finds me out. And I've been running from arrest, but I was never blessed with speed. Hey, tried riding on my steed, but I stuck out like a sore thumb. My friends suggested makeup, fake mustaches and funny hats, facial reconstructive surgery and fuzzy dog-like cats. Thank you very much, I say, for rubbing it in. Do you wanna see me frown? And if you're gonna play with me, I suggest you begin. But don't try and bring me down. Don't you try and bring me down. Don't you try and bring me down. Whoa. Well, I'd been sitting by that piano for a couple of days. I figured it was time that we both went our separate ways. I asked the young lady if she'd have something to drink. Well, who's surprised that she said no? Perhaps if I were single, perhaps if I were bolder, perhaps if by comparison you didn't look much older.
I stopped her in her tracks right there, and this is what I told her. I said, you've really made my day. Thank you very much, I said, for rubbing it in. Do you want to see me frown? And if you're gonna play with me, I suggest you begin. But don't try and bring me down. Don't try and bring me down. Don't you try and bring me down. That song was called Rubbing It In by me, Joe Raciti. You can find it on iTunes, and you can probably find it in a number of other places. If you are a Bach level supporter on my Patreon page, you can find it for a mere $3 a month, and all of my other music, all of my other original music, which is actually recorded better, and I don't sound terrible, and I've warmed up, and I've recorded until I'm blue in the face and made sure everything sounds perfect, because I'm anal about that sort of thing. Okay. So, I'm going to see if there are other questions that I can help you guys answer. Sorry about the technology problems. It's so annoying. Technology. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. If you don't have absolute pitch, is there any way you can train your ear to recognize any chord note played? That's good advice. Thanks, Joe. You're welcome. Can't hear anything. Can't hear anything. Should be able to hear stuff. Okay, so the answer to the question, Lionheart R. If you don't have absolute pitch, is there any way to train your ear to recognize any chord note played? Yeah, so the answer is kind of yes and kind of no. I don't think absolute pitch is all that awesome. I don't have it, but I'm not jealous. I know a lot of people who have absolute pitch, when they hear something a little bit off, they're like, yeah, actually, that's not an A. Like, if you try to sing something in a different key, they can't, because they're like, well, that's not what an A sounds like. And they often sound like they're out of tune, because everyone else is slightly out of tune, and then they're singing the actual pitch. And you're like, sing worse. That'd be better. So how do you train yourself to hear stuff? Well, I think what's more important than training to hear any chord is to hear any chord quality. So if I hear I hear this chord, Do, I can sort of hear where Do is. I can sort of sense that it's here. If I were to play the scale that would go with this chord, na 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 na, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, Ti, La, So, Fa, Mi, Re, Do. And I can kind of hear this other thing. Mi. Do you hear that note in the mix? Mi. And I hear this So, Do, Mi, So. And I know that Do, Mi, So is a major chord. You can hear that in any Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, Mi, So, Do, Mi, So. So what you can do to help your ear is to learn solfege and to sing. You go Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. That's a major scale. Ti, La, So, Fa, Mi, Re, Do, Ti, La, Ti, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, So, Fa, Mi, Re, Do, Ti, La. It's a little low for me. I teach movable Do solfege, which means that when you're singing minor, you're starting in La, and when you're singing major, you're starting in Do, and everything else you don't have to worry about. If I'm playing in a different key, if I'm playing the key of G, G is Do. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, Ti, La, So, Fa, Mi, Re, Do, Mi, So. And what you do is you sing that scale when you're walking around. You sing Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. And you, in your brain, you're like, okay, I want to go from Do to So. And you try to get there. Do, So. And there are little tricks like O, E, O, O. That's 1, 5, 1, 5, 1. You try to, and I don't love using the tricks. I'd rather just sort of learn it. So like 1, 5, and you kind of want to come up with sequences in your brain that you don't know the outcome of, but you like pick a number and you try to go there. 1, 5, 4, 5, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 7, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6, 5, 4, 5, 1, or 8, 7, 6, 8, 6, 5, 8, 5, 6, 4, 5, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 2, 1, 7, 1. You want to basically sing the pitches with the notes. And I'm not great at it, but that's better than when I started. So don't be intimidated to try and mess up. Start with just notes that go up or down. 1, 2, 1, 7, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just go up and down by a step, and then as you get more bold, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 5, 4, 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 7, 1. Do that exercise. That's really good for your ear training. Let's see. What else can I tell you? When you are playing a song that has a melody, isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? And that's in the key of C. But it starts in A. And I know that the progression is sort of like this. It's like a rising fourth pattern of fourths. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? And kind of hear, as if I were the bass player, I'd be going. So since I know it's in the key of A minor or C, depending on how you think about it, I think of it in the key of C that just starts like in a weird place. You know you're going to be playing all white notes. That's C major, and A minor is all white notes too. And so I can make a pretty good guess, like 90% of the time, if I know that bass progression, which in this case, in the case of Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder, it goes A, D, G, C. If I just start there and make a chord based off of those root notes, and the notes that I'm choosing, the chords that I'm choosing, all use notes from the scale, or what are called diatonic. They're all use notes from either the C major or the A minor scale. I'm probably going to get most of the chords right. So look, I'll only play chords that have white notes, but I'll follow that bass progression that I just heard. Okay? So A, isn't she lovely, to D. That's a little bit weird, but we'll go with it for now. Isn't she G? Wonder, C, full. And I'm playing jazzy versions. And then there's the D versus the major. So you might tweak something here or there, but basically that's the idea. Hear the bass progression in your ear. Oh, great. Cam control has stopped working. Of course it has. Of course cam control has stopped working. Why has it stopped working? That's unacceptable. Okay. Hopefully that's fixed itself. My software keeps punking out on me. I don't know why. I don't know how much of this stuff is getting through. I'm sorry. Here I am trying to do a better job, and it just gets out worse. How annoying. All right. Let's see if there are other comments while that's reloading. Oh. Hopefully that worked. All right. So it froze again, man. Awesome. That does make sense. Sweet. Yeah, so I know that the feed is freezing every once in a while, and that's because my software is messing up and I have to like restart it, and I try to do that as quickly as I can. So thanks for your patience. So, man, I wish I knew where it left off. So I'll just do a real quick recap in case what I said got chopped off. But basically, In the case of Stevie Wonder, Isn't She Lovely? Isn't she lovely? It's most of the chords that you choose use notes that are in the scale that the song is in. They're in the key. People say, well, what key is the song in? And there are a couple of ways. If you're looking at sheet music, it's a lot easier to find the key because it's written and there are clues about what key you're in. If you don't see any accidentals, no sharps or flats, and you're either in C or A minor. And then there are ways to, we'll talk about ways later this summer when I release my series on reading music. I'll cover some of that stuff in more depth and better video quality and stuff. This is not acceptable. What was I saying? Jeez. Oh, and then if you're doing it by ear, that's the way I like to do it. You kind of have to sense where the home note is, and one way that you can do it is to sort of sing the major scale. I try to sing the major scale on top of a song. So if I'm playing a song, I'll play a song, and I'll talk you through how I think about hearing it. All right. So let's say there's a song. Probably recognize that song. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. Whatever. If I'm hearing that song, I'm trying to sing the major scale that I think works with that. And I guess one of the notes that I hear, I'm really hearing this like nice and strong. Even though I was changing through chords, when I sang that scale, it wasn't that abrasive to the ear. It wasn't like, oh, that sounds terrible. So that's generally when you know you've got it. It takes some practice to figure out where the root, the home key is, the home note. And so in that case, it's C. So you can then start figuring out what the progression is for the song based in that. So you've got C. And then you pretend you're the bass and you listen to what you hear with the bass. That's like the bass progression that I hear. If I were the bass player, I'd be playing something like that, like a variation on that. And that tells you what your progression is. You start on the 1, you go to the 5, you go to the 6, which is minor, but we'll go to the 6. You go to the 4. You just kind of start over. 5. And then instead of going to the 6, you go right to the 4 and you walk down to the 1. And that tells you what your chords are. A 1 chord in the key of C is a C major. 5 is G major. 6 is an A minor. The 4 is an F major. And that's pretty much all your chords. And then you dress it up and make it sound emotional. And that's how I do it. That's how I do it for picking out songs by ear. Is you break it down one step at a time, and you sort of learn to look for the right parts of the problem at the right time. I start by trying to find the home note. What key is the song in, basically? Then I try to figure out what I would play if I were the bass. And I pretend I'm an upright bass. I think it's more fun, and I don't know, helps me. Oh look, my software is broken again. Big surprise. Cam control has stopped working. Well, that's just too bad. I'm reloading my camera. Don't fret. I know that it's out. It's just my software. software breaking as usual. Maybe it's my internet connection because I am at a school, because I don't do this for a living. Not to make you feel guilty or anything. Did you, Cam? All right, so due to this ridiculous technical problem that I'm having, I'm going to call this soon. The next time this camera goes out, I'm going to just call it, because it's not fun for you guys to watch, I imagine. I'm going to try and get this stuff ironed out. I really tried to actually improve the quality this time. I got a nicer camera set up. I got software. I spent all morning and all last night trying to figure it out. And of course, when everything seems like it's working and then you run it, it doesn't work. That's technology. Anyway, if you guys have more questions, you can leave them. I'll do my best to answer those. I really hope, the whole point of this was to actually call attention to this Patreon page, which I think is going to be important for the future of how I do this stuff. And of course, I'm just totally botching it, which is hilarious, so hilarious. But I hope you'll check it out. The quality of the other products that I do. I know my live product has some room for improvement here, and I actually do want to improve on that. I think it'd be awesome to put together a live show with better visuals and better quality of everything, so that, I don't know, I can answer your questions live and stuff. I think that'd be pretty cool. And that's actually one of the milestones for my Patreon page. So if I can hit $2,000 a month, I will start a live show, and I will get better at it, I promise. So that's basically it. I still have lots of stuff coming out this summer. Even if this is not appealing to you, even if you're like not going to support, I hope you'll still stick around. I got so much stuff planned anyway. I also have weddings and stuff to go to, and my life is ridiculous, and I have to move, and I have to start another like semi-new job, half of another job. I got a crazy life. This summer is crazy, but I'm working my butt off, so there should be new stuff coming out. Covers, lessons planned, some original stuff, and how to read music series is coming out as well for the piano. So hope you guys are excited. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so sorry for the annoying, stupid technical difficulties that totally ruins everything. Maybe I'll try and edit it or something and post. I don't know if I can even do that, and try and edit it down on YouTube so that whoever watches this later is like not annoyed at what they see. I would be annoyed. And thank you for sticking around. Thank you for your questions. If you've got more, you can ask them in the comment field, and I'll see if I can answer them. I don't know if you can actually ask comments, but you'll find a way, I'm sure. And have a great day. I'll see you pretty soon.